So CM Punk is going to go to WWE. I'll give you my word right now. CM Punk is going to WWE. They keep making references about him. They did the same thing with Cody Rhodes. Like, come on, he's going to WWE. You know, I've been wrong before. I'm sure. I'm sure there's one time someone gave me a really hard math question, and maybe I was off by a few decimals. So maybe I've been wrong before. But there's one thing I'm never wrong about, and that's professional wrestling. I told everybody that CM Punk was going to WWE, and I was right. It doesn't take a moron to realize that CM Punk is awesome, but Phillip Brooks is kind of a loser. So CM Punk went back to WWE. He got a great, ovation. I mean, I was shocked to see it. I was happy. Don't get me wrong, I'm a CM Punk fan. Does this make him a hypocrite? Absolutely. Does this negate everything he has said for the past 10 years? Does it negate everything he said about WWE in AEW? Absolutely. I didn't know it was going to be at Survivor Series, but I knew he was coming back. So yes, it was a surprise for me. So as I watched him come out, as I saw the fans go crazy, I thought to myself, November 25th, 2023, this could mark the day that AEW died. And I know I'm not the only person who thought this. I mean, if you've been on Twitter for the last 48 hours, everybody has been saying that AEW is over, and it's hard to look at, but they kind of have a point. I mean, if CM Punk, the one guy who has been so public about his negative experience in WWE, the guy who was fired on his wedding day, the guy who has hated Triple H for 10 years, if he can go to WWE, what is stopping literally anybody else from going? Now, Monday Night Raw is on very soon. Randy Orton's going to be there. Punk's going to be there. I got to see what's happening. This is crazy. And I know some people are worried about CM Punk, how he's going to behave backstage, because there are a lot of WWE talent that don't like the guy. I mean, I know AJ Styles has some beef with him. He has beef with Miz. And then there's maybe a few others. I think Cody Rhodes, there was this rumor that CM Punk was one of the reasons Cody Rhodes left AEW, but I don't believe that, but who knows? But CM Punk was an absolute problem in AEW. I don't think he's going to be that in WWE. I think he's going to behave, and I think honestly spite is his biggest motivator right now, and he'll do whatever it takes to stay in WWE and go to WrestleMania after WrestleMania and just be a WWE guy for life. I think spite is motivating him, and I think he hates Tony Khan and AEW enough to do that. And while this does make him a hypocrite, I'm a CM Punk fan. I've been a CM Punk fan forever. In the early 2010s, I was a CM Punk fan, absolutely. When he left, I watched him in the UFC. When he comes to AEW, I'm a fan of CM Punk. He leaves AEW, I'm still a fan of CM Punk. He returns to WWE, and I'm still a fan. Now, I'm talking about CM Punk, the wrestler, the performer, the promo, the guy, CM Punk, the straight edge. I think if I knew Phil Brooks in real life, I don't think we'd get along. We have similar sort of beliefs and morals, I feel, loser. But that's just Phillip Brooks. I mean, CM Punk is awesome. I'm very interested to see Tony Khan's move now. Tony Khan has backed himself into a corner. Losing CM Punk to WWE was basically them taking the queen. He has almost nothing left, but I think Tony Khan might have a couple of cards to play, one of them being the patience game. He's going to screw himself out of WWE just like he did AEW, just like he did WWE back in the day. Do I think it's going to happen? No, but it could. Maybe hating CM Punk is something that AEW and WWE can eventually agree on. But quite honestly, I would prefer if AEW just started to set fuel to the fire. If I'm Tony Khan, this Wednesday, Jack Perry's coming out first. I'm bringing Jack Perry out first with a microphone, and I'm giving him 20 minutes of time to tell everybody that he is the reason that CM Punk left. But if I'm Tony Khan, I'm lighting fuel to this fire, and I'm bringing out Jack Perry. But it won't. I know it won't. Tony Khan does not want the drama. I mean, this is why Tony Khan didn't capitalize on the backstage CM Punk drama at the time. WWE's doing that right now. Everyone's like, oh my God, is this Seth Rollins thing a work or it's obviously a work. Triple H knows that CM Punk has this reputation for being a problem backstage. This is going to be a story. This is the thing that Tony Khan couldn't do. Triple H is going to make this story out of CM Punk where half the locker room is going to hate the guy. And that's because Triple H knows what he's doing and Tony Khan unfortunately doesn't. That's because Tony Khan keeps making stupid business decisions. Listen, Tony, I don't even have 500 subscribers on this channel, but if I was running AEW, this business would not stop growing. You made Collision the CM Punk show, but Rampage was already the CM Punk show, and look what happened. 2019 AEW was not broken. Why did you try to fix it? 2021 AEW was not broken. Why did you try to fix it? But the difference between back then and right now is that WWE was not as hot as it is. WWE has all the stars now, and AEW is dropping them, right? I mean, let's think about this. Two and a half years ago, WWE didn't have a Cody Rhodes. They didn't have CM Punk. They didn't have LA Knight. They had Roman Reigns, but he was just at the tip of the iceberg with the bloodline stuff. So how did it go so wrong so fast? And quite honestly, the only thing that I think Tony Khan needs to do right now is revert back to the ways of the early AEW. Because it seems like throughout the years, Tony Khan has been trying to expand AEW, make it something bigger than it is, and get all these shows out and bring in these stars and appeal to a range of audiences, when in reality, him trying to reach out and get these new fans, it's having this reverse effect where all the old fans realize that AEW just isn't the same anymore and they're going away. And I might be next, and I'm the biggest AEW mark there is. I want AEW to succeed, I really do, but it's hard. It's really hard to keep watching this. And it's not that the shows are bad or anything. I mean, you know, I think MJF is great. I think Christian Cage is great. And I think there's definitely some improvement going on in the women's division. And that's all fine and good. But those are just small things. It's the big stuff that Tony Khan needs to also start worrying about and start fixing. I think Tony Khan needs to go to his staff members and say, okay, it's out. I want him to say, listen, raise your hand. You want to go to WWE? Raise your hand right now. If you don't want to be under AEW contract, you know, obviously there's no guarantees that you're going to go to WWE, but if you don't want to be employed by us anymore, raise your hand. Get rid of Collision, get rid of Rampage, bring back Dark, and you have old AEW again, and you have a great AEW. You don't have people there who don't want to be there. You don't have people there who the fans are waiting to see, but are never going to see. And unless Tony Khan can do that, there's no hope for AEW. There really isn't. I mean, we can all sit here and talk about Wembley numbers, but AEW is not growing by any means. If anything, it's getting smaller and smaller, unfortunately. So Raw is on in about an hour. I'm excited for that. CM Punk, you know, he's back in the WWE. I think this is going to bring so many fans from AEW to WWE, but also just so many fans who enjoyed the WWE product that fell out of it back, right? So this was excellent move by Triple H. Triple H is demolishing AEW right now. I'm not saying it's a lost cause. You know, I'm not saying there's no hope for Tony Khan, but it's going to take some work. And it's not, I'm not just talking about, you know, improve the show a little bit. I'm talking about real hard business work, like getting rid of Collision and getting rid of Rampage. I think my next video is going to be talking about who's going to main event WrestleMania 40, because at this point, there are so many options, right? I mean, The Rock was a rumor for a little bit, and then with CM Punk back, I mean, dude, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, but that's not going to happen. I think it's going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, but I will make a video about that probably in the next couple of days. Good night.